Well, Xoli, I can confirm to you that the meeting just kicked off. The Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Lindiwe Sisulu, walking in with the Minister of Police, Bheki. Quite interestingly, also the National Police Commissioner was also here, General Sithole, and also followed with the Provincial Commissioners of Limpopo and KZN. So I think this speaks to the seriousness of this issue, Xoli, as to how government is trying to tackle this. We understand that all ambassadors from all African countries have been invited. We were in that room just not so long ago where we saw that a lot of them did take up this invite. But let's just get it from the DIRCO spokesperson, Divu Mabaya. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Just how serious is government taking these latest spate of violence against foreign nationals? And also, what is the sort of language that's going to be used there? Are we going to be saying it's xenophobic attacks, or is it just attacks on foreign nationals?
I think, good morning. We are taking this meeting very serious. As you know, the Minister of International Relations, the Minister of Police is also here. The generals are here, not only the generals from the police, we also have the net joints. The net joints is a structure of our government that coordinates security in the country. As you saw, the Secretary of Defense is also here, and these are institutions that are dealing with this on a daily basis. Going back to your question, we want to share with the ambassadors the facts on the ground, what is happening on the ground, what are some of the preliminary reports that we have about this, and most importantly, how can we work together to find solutions to what is happening. As I said to you earlier, we have also noted in the social media there is a number of fake videos and some of the fake events that have taken place. And some have taken place not even here in our country, some have taken place in 2013 or in 2012. So we want to bring in everybody so that the police can be able to engage with the ambassadors, clarify what needs to be clarified. The ambassadors will be able to ask questions, and from there we'll be able to engage with all South African citizens, including foreign nationals who are here.
Your invite to this meeting for journalists was very well worded. You know, xenophobic attacks was not featured at all. What is DIRCO calling these attacks?
You know, there are more than 70 million South Africans. The majority of South Africans are well-loving people. They live on a day-to-day basis with foreign nationals. We work with them here at DIRCO. They work everywhere in the country. They participate in economic activities. They participate in social activities. So the majority of South Africans are not involved in violence or criminal activities against foreign nationals. And that is a fact that we must communicate. However, there are criminals who are mobilizing other criminals to target foreign nationals in order to meet their criminal objectives. Most importantly, it's looting, it's thuggery, it's stealing. And we must deal with it as it is. You know, the majority of South Africans live very happily every day with foreign nationals. They interact with them. So that is why we are continuing to say we need the police and we need all law enforcement agencies to deal very thoroughly and very actively with all criminal elements who are mobilizing other criminals to target foreign nationals. And you will ask a question, why foreign nationals? Because they are a minority. If you go to a community, there are few, they are not part of the community structures. That is why we are saying that as part of finding a long-term solution to these issues, you need to make sure that the community leaders protect them. The community leaders must be able to say, not in our name. And that is what we are dealing with.
Speaking of community leaders, one of the critics or criticism that has been leveled against our own leaders, I know that the ambassador from Zambia has been very vocal with regards to these careless statements that have been issued out by our very own leaders that he believes could have been attributing to these attacks. I mean, this is I'm assuming and I'm sure that the Minister of DIRCO is going to be facing harsh criticism, and how is she going to be able to allay the fears of the ambassadors that she's on top of the situation?
We need to deal with facts. And that is why we have come here with the police. That's why we have come here with the net joints. And they've done a preliminary investigation of almost all of these incidents. And I'm sure after the meeting that we have, they'll be able to engage with you on what they have found. What is our initial assessment as DERCO and also as a member of net joints is that they are criminal elements who are taking advantage of the economic challenges of people, mainly in townships and in urban areas. And we need to deal with that. And that is what we want to be engaging with. That is what we want to focus on, to say, how do we ensure that as other South Africans or South African businesses and South African citizens are trading across the continent. If you go to any of our neighboring countries, our businesses are doing very well there. Our citizens are there. And we want to be able to say to community leaders, in particular pastors, in particular principals and teachers, that those community leaders, they have a responsibility to say this is not being done in our name. But we need to face the facts. We need to allow the police to investigate. We need to listen to what the police are saying so that we are able to respond properly to the issues that are being raised.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That's, of course, Ndivuo Mabaya, who speaks for DERCO, and really telling us about the fact that, roping in police to this very important meeting is to make sure that it's not just talk, but action on the ground. But we also know, Oli, that the president has been quite vocal about this, saying that he's condemning all the attacks on all levels, saying that such attacks don't belong in a democratic society, let alone a society such as ours. Over to you.
Thanks very much, Lirandzu. And of course, the issue of how the department concerned here, international relations, is going to crouch this issue. Is it xenophobic attacks or is it simply attacks? Very well spotted there. Thank you very much.